But he not the baron. Now's the time to dominate, don't do it for the cash. Finally a critic who just does it for the clash. Uploading all the content in a flash. If he keep it up, he gonna have to commandeer a mask. Dominating impulse.
What's going on, guys? The truth here. Dominating impulse. Okay. So, like I said in that Deadpool video, we were going to open up the umbrella here at Dominating Impulse. So what better way to do that is to dive into a little anime. And what better anime to dive into? Put the Z Saga, Dragon Ball Z. So, this is what this episode is going to be about. My personal top 10 fights of the entire Dragon Ball Z series. So just let's get started. I'm hype as hell. Let's dive in. Let's go ham. So, for continuity purpose, the fight in Resurrection of X, Lord Virus and Goku, and Golden Frieza versus Vegeta and Goku, while they were good fights, for continuity purpose, I cannot put them in my top 10 just because they were more like shift changers of what was to come. They were trying to set up something new and something more within the DBZ world, like that were outside the Dragon Balls. So, like, good fights, but I can't put them in my top 10. So, let's go with number 10. Piccolo, Krillin, Tien, Yamcha, Gohan versus Nappa. Okay, so, remember when the Saiyans were breaching the Earth? The Z Fighters, they knew, hey, something was about to go down, and Goku wasn't really back on Earth yet. Like, they knew he was coming, but he wasn't there yet. But they already knew what the Saiyans were about, you know, when Raditz showed up, and kind of gave Goku the business. I'm gonna keep it 100. He gave Goku the business. But, you know, the Dragon Ball told him what was gonna go down. So Vegeta and Nappa came to Earth, yada, yada, yada. It almost went down. Nappa was about to give everybody the business. Vegeta was just sitting there chilling, enjoying the show. You know, then Nappa breaks out the Cyberman. But this guerrilla warfare style that the Saiyans blitz the Earth, the Z Fighters with, just lets you know how powerful the Saiyans could be. And it lets you know how much the Earth really needed a champion like Goku. Let's go with number 9. Okay, so I know this next one, people are going to jump down my throat and be all at my neck in the comments. Please don't be in my neck in the comments. Listen to my reasoning behind this, and then you will understand. So, number 9 is going to be Gohan versus Perfect Cell. Now, we all knew that this fight was coming. If you go all the way back to the original Dragon Ball, we got to see little kid Goku grow up to be the man Goku that he is. You know, before he even learned how to do the Super Saiyan transformation in the Frieza saga, Goku was already a great fighter, and we got to see him grow. And now that he had a son who was half human, we really wanted to see that. And Gohan and Goku were fighting in the metabolic chamber. Goku said that he saw something in Gohan's eyes, and you knew through the whole time of the Cell games, Gohan's like, why is he chilling? Because like we knew this was coming, you know what I'm saying? We knew Kid Gohan was probably going to be one of the best, yada yada yada. But when he tapped into that Super Saiyan 2 power, we got to see it, we got to feel it, and that's why I just like it took too long. The Cell games, I love the story. It was just too long, and like the way they chopped up Gohan's power of what he could do, it wasn't how Goku or Vegeta would be, just full on strength and guts, and you know, like he's been training his whole life for this. But it's in the top 10. So you know, you can't talk about Dragon Ball Z without talking about the Cell games and this fight. So let's go on to number 8. Future Trunks, Mecha, Frieza, King Cold. Now, Future Trunks is a fan favorite. He's like up there with Goku and Vegeta and DBZ lore. So anytime you mention Trunks, you know people are going to get in their feelings and it's going to be controversial. But Trunks actually makes this list because if you go back to DBZ, all stems from the Frieza saga. I feel like all villains stem from the Frieza saga. All the stories come from basically this Frieza saga. And so when we get to see Future Trunks, the son of what we later find out is the bloodline of the royal Vegeta, like that just, it blows my mind. Like, he ended not only Mecha Frieza but King Cold in minutes. And like Vegeta, he's shocked through the whole time. He's like, who the hell is this saying? I thought it was just me and Kakarot. And then he finds out him his son, and he has no feelings for him, treats him like he's shit. But that's for another video. But when I say like this, the sight of what Trunks did in seconds and minutes, and then told him about the androids, and we got to go into the Cell Saga. And then, you know, if you got to see the spinoff movie, you understand Trunks' backstory a little bit better, coming from, you know, kind of like the X-Men style apocalyptic future. But the way he ended Future Frieza, making a Frieza King Code, was sick. That's why it makes the list. Number 7. So then we got Kid Buu, the evilest, purest, sickest goon known today in DBZ, the universe. And as the world is about to be destroyed and all life ended, we have the two most powerful Saiyans, of course, fighting amongst each other of how to stop them. But like, it all comes down to, like, what I tell people, ultimately Goku does not stop Buu. Yes, he does the spirit bomb. Yes, his pure heart summons the people of Earth. But the tactician that Vegeta is makes Goku simple-minded, you know, pure heart, if you will, his innocence, understand what he has to do. And that's why I tell people he's the better fighter. He is the reason why the series really moves the way it needs to move, because his military mind has been trained since a child. But, you know, either way it goes, we know how it ended. They destroyed him with the spirit bomb, then Goku wished him back to be, you know, a nicer, you know, kinder person and not evil. And they got to keep the monk Buu, who was originally, you know, one of the Kais, the elder Kais. They got to keep him as well, who is also super powerful and just likes to eat junk food all day like a fat kid. Let's go to number 6. Pure hatred that Goku has for Vegeta is like famously known, but the fact that Goku can be wished back for one day and Vegeta lets himself become under mind control just to fight Goku to prove his point that he is the strongest warrior is the reason why this one is number 6. Like, Vegeta is that guy. And before the plot is really revealed on how he attained the power, Mystic Vegeta was known, as, you know, later canon revealed. At that point in time, he not only was stronger than Goku, he was at the level of Kid Gohan at Super Saiyan 2. And that's before these guys even realized of how far the Saiyans could push their limits. But we all know how the Saiyan and you know, the Saiyan transformation went throughout the Buu saga. You know, we got to see, you know, the morphs and the, you know, fusions and all that. Like, it was pretty sick. But Vegeta is like, you know, his sole purpose is to beat Kakarot, period, point blank. Even though he knows he's probably not going to beat him, he's not going to, like, live a day on this earth to let him know. I'm on your coattails if you didn't know that. Number 5. I know I'm going to catch crazy shit for this in the comments, but it got to be said. We all knew what the Cell games was about, introducing different fighters into the world. Like, we had Goku for so long. We had to see different Saiyans do different things, including Vegeta, which is why that was the first time he went into Super Saiyan form, you know. But with that being said, just the fact of Cell and Goku actually, like, you know, doing the dance at that time, it was like mirror images of each other. Let's keep in mind, he, you know, absorbed so many people and androids. Like, Savage Cell was a fucking idiot, but when he became Perfect Cell and he had the knowledge to, like, you know, form his thoughts and moves, that shit was fucking scary. It was a reason why they thought the world was going to end. You know what I'm saying? But this fight was pretty epic, and it led us into the Gohan fight, is mentioned later in this list. But like I say, I love this fight, and that's why it's number 5. Let's go into the next one. Okay, so when Piccolo and Android 17 do the dance, it rarely is found out that this Namekian is nobody to play with. So since the fusion with Kamen, this villain turned hero turned Z fighter, and all the transformation and training that he's done in between has led up to this moment when Dr. Gero's androids haven't got to experience this new Piccolo, and Android 16 quickly realized he might be in for a run for his money. So number 3, Goku, Vegeta, the epic duo, the driving force of the entire DBZ series. Saiyans, brotherhood, lineage broken through, you know, a split in the galaxy, however you want to put it. One thing this fight always leads us back to: good and evil. And as we later realize in the series, Vegeta will become you know, a Z fighter, reluctant as he always puts on. Deep down, he's kind of a good guy, or at least that's what he turned out to be. But at this initial fight, we see the force and rage of a true Saiyan warrior tactician that Vegeta is. Goku does get the best of him coming straight out of King Kai's training, but this fight is epically setting the tone for everything that is to follow. So I can't have a top 10 DBZ list without featuring the very first undocumented Super Saiyan. Now, maybe he had some mental health issues as a baby that was, you know, new to the Saiyan race, so Broly was, sent away, as you will. Well, we seen in the movie Bardock what really happened to him, but I'm just assuming why he was sent away. But the fact that he was one of the more powerful Saiyans and Goku still defeated him in the first one, and then he came back and Goku's sons defeated him, Gohan and Gotenks, and they summoned the chi of their father. They hit him with like a crazy double and like a spiritual realm of a Kamehameha wave that ultimately defeated him. I thought that was pretty cool. So that's why he makes the list. And it's always nice to talk about Broly because he really is just like what a Super Saiyan should be. The monkey rage with the martial arts skills of Goku and the tactician of Vegeta. Dumb sick. So our number one, it shouldn't be hard to figure out at this point, but all things great from DBZ stem from the initial Super Saiyan 1 transformation and that final battle between Frieza and Goku. Now, if that speech that Goku gave Frieza didn't give you chills, I don't know what will. And if you forgot it, let's take a look at it.
I'm the Saiyan who came all the way from Earth for the sole purpose of beating you. I am the warrior you've heard of in legends, pure of heart and awakened by fury. That's what I am.